Hi, welcome to Liv'n More in 2024. My name is Diane Colon. I'm the nurse in your pocket, la enfermera en su bolsillo. I've been a registered nurse for over 29 years. I've worked as a public health nurse. I've worked as a pediatric nurse. I ran a small clinic. I worked in a children's hospital, and I also worked in home health. But throughout my entire nursing career and to the present, I have been a nurse advocate and a wellness advocate, helping those that I love, especially myself. I've had to really advocate for my own health because I've had various physical and invisible um, health issues. And I kind of want to expand on the invisible because there were things going on that, of course, I physically looked fine. Nobody understood why I was the way I was. When I saw the cardiologist, they just deemed, hey, you're okay, but I knew I wasn't okay. In 2012, I I joined this weight loss group. Lost. I don't want to say I lost. So I went down about 40, about 50 something pounds. I was doing 5Ks. I was so excited to get out of the house and do things. But I noticed that every time I was exercising, doing stuff, I would spend days afterwards resting. And, do it, spend days after resting. And so that kind of became a pattern. And I thought that was a norm for me since the cardiologist did my echocardiogram, which is the ultrasound of my heart. And so was like, hey, you're fine. When I said I was getting dizzy a lot, he just said, hey, everything looked fine. So after that, I, just kept going. I was introduced to essential oils, and I thought, cool, this is great. I can use it in cleaning products, make my own chapsticks. I mean, lip balms and all that stuff. So that was my thought. Over time, I learned so much of amazing benefits of the essential oils, pure essential oils, and I started learning more about natural products, alternative health, all this stuff, which was totally different from what I learned in nursing school. And I started to get into the chemistry of the essential oils, and I started to study it, and it just was like fascinating. But as I was learning that, I was learning more about the body. So while that was happening in 2012, um, sorry, I was going to do this as an introduction to the Liv'n More, but I feel like you have to kind of understand where I'm coming from. So, so starting 2013, I get this doctor who I thought was homeopathic, and like, okay, great, I'm into this natural stuff. I'm going to see this homeopathic doctor. She's going to help me. She prescribed hormone replacement. I thought, great, this is going to help me be my brain function better. And I had a reaction that I felt was I was having chest pains. I was having a shorter breath, and contacted the doctor, and she said, it's not a side effect of it, but go ahead and stop it a month and then start again, which I did. So I took it in February, stopped in March, took it again in April. After I took it in April, was feeling worse, was in urgent care a couple times, blood pressure sky high. And I still have an amazing friend who is also a cardiac nurse, recommended me to the physician she works with. So, so I switched cardiologist, and they did an angiogram. And while I was getting the angiogram, they had me lifting weights. So I'm on basically in a procedure room, cardiac cath lab, kind of strapped down, and I have these weights. They have with the arms, and I'm doing the weights, and that's when the doctor was saying about the pressures in my heart, how it changed and elevated when I was exercising. So I had kind of like a pulmonary hypertension. Go into that another time. But anyway, so basically that explained why every time I was exercising or squatting or doing certain things, it increased my blood pressure and made me feel dizzy. So that was in 2013. Um, so it was deemed that I needed heart surgery. So what was going on was that the birth defect that I had, the hole in my heart, was in a certain area that when I was exercising and causing the valve to open up more, it was getting basically sucked into the hole. So it stretched my aortic valve. So as it was stretching, my heart was working harder. So basically the blood was flowing the way it was supposed to and then going back, which is called regurgitation. So it was going back. So my heart was having to pump out the blood that was going where it was supposed to and then pump the extra blood because the other blood was coming back. So anyways, another topic. But just so you know, things were going on, and that's why I was feeling more dizzy, because basically the valve wasn't opening and closing, it was staying open. Had my friend really not caught that and said, hey Diane, I'm noticing, yeah, you're doing the right things, you're eating right, the weight's coming down, you're exercising, but I'm noticing these other symptoms. And because she caught that, then she was like, hey, I really think, see the cardiologist, right? But I had seen one like months to, the year before, months before, and, he just disregarded that. So pretty sure things got worse after I took 2 doses or 2 months of this one medication. But the doctor said it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure it was, because these other extra symptoms didn't happen until afterwards. That being said, this is why I've had to advocate for my own health. So I had open heart surgery, which is, me 10 years ago, me now. So that was 2013. So I thought, yes, I am better. My heart, is fixed. I can be normal again and move forward in life. So, have my surgery. Then I have a reaction to my heart medication. And after months of, weeks of that reaction, finally, it was discovered that it was, well, what do I say? So basically, I was coughing a lot. So a couple weeks after surgery, I started coughing a lot. And so what it's called is ACE inhibitor induced cough. So it was a possible side effect, which wasn't really expanded on when we were leaving the hospital when I had heart surgery. So it was quite painful after having my chest cracked open and having, everything healing, that I constantly am coughing. So it's one thing that you have to cough and deep breathe to expand your lungs so you don't get pneumonia and stuff like that. But to have continuous cough as a result of a medication. So it was a reaction. So when I shared with someone, got a hold of, I think, the pharmacist, the doctor, and stuff like that. So finally I stopped taking that medicine. But that had already been weeks. So, because I thought maybe I caught a cold, maybe whatever, until, I kind of researched more. And that is out now. So going into 2014, then I'm well for 6 months, and then I take another. I'm deteriorate again. I'm having extreme fatigue. It's not easy for me to move around. When I follow up with the cardiologist and stuff, everything looks good. So heart wise, everything looks good. And so they, I started to deteriorate a little bit more, and they thought I was going to need another heart surgery. But then the edema, the swelling went down, and I'm trying to think of years. Sorry, this is not in the notes because I wasn't going to go into this, but I feel it's really important to understand why it's important to be an advocate. Um, so that's 2014. So anyways, I just feel like this is just a way of life, you know. I just can't work, I can't do much. Um I feel like I'm a piece of the furniture because I'm just always exhausted, you know, counting again, I'm counting, you know, how far when I would go places, you know, do I need to walk and all this and stuff. Um Calculate, plan, plan ahead. And that's why I have family saying, you know, you always have to plan, you always have to plan, because mentally, I have to physically be okay to know, hey, I'm going to go to this major store, or I'm going to, you know, go to this small store. So, so anyway, so the health issues that they knew I had, um, or it wasn't a big thing at that time, was about vitamin D. I was low in vitamin D, because that was discovered in 2011, but it was never really made a big deal at all with the doctors. And then we knew with my heart, I battled depression, so they just thought, okay, it was just, you know, maybe that's why you know, I never leave my house, is because I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I don't want to leave my house, da da da. But there was something else going on. It wasn't just like, okay, I'm scared to leave my house. It was, I literally was scared because I would get so exhausted. Um, Before that, even when my children were little, I remember we would go places, and sometimes I had to sit in the car, and I couldn't. I was like, no one could talk to me. I had to just shut down, because not only did I have no energy, my brain would not grasp anything. And it felt as though, I don't know if anybody has seen a lightning bug. So we had, when we were driving across country, a little, I think that's what they're called, little lightning bug hit the car, and you would see the little light dim, just slowly dim. That's kind of how I would feel. I felt like I would just go dim, and like I had to just get in the car or sit somewhere, just shut down and like reboot. That's how I can explain it. Um, so I thought, okay, I can control the days, you know, the days that I do activities, then I rest. So by the end of 2018, um, I I'm part of this amazing women's business group, and I come up with the theme of the nurse in your pocket. So I'm like, great, you know, I want to be able to help people. I am now getting out of my depression. I'm feeling a little bit better. I want to be able to help people. You know, as I learn, I want to share with them, which is where the Nurse in Your Pocket came about. And within a couple months of me putting together this business plan, uh, all this idea, I became weaker and weaker. And I won second place with my business plan. But when I went, it just was hard for me to attend that event. And like the next day or so, I did not feel well. Got a hold of the cardiologist, and going into 2019 was such a challenge for me. I had to switch quite a few I switched cardiologist. I had a doctor who basically made me feel humiliated. Actually, two, and they were female doctors. Um, because I thought, I asked the one, I go, could it be this and that? Because I know it has to be energy level. And she kind of like made fun of me. The second doctor just referred me to a nutritionist and said I just need to lose weight. Um, the third doctor, when I started to see this female doctor, I said, look, I am fat. I know I am fat 30 days out of the month, but there are 15 days I'm mobile. I can do some stuff. There are a few days I can barely go to the restroom. I feel so much pressure on my chest, and it's continual. It's just, it happens every month. And I said, so my weight is the same, whether it's those 15 good days or semi good days, or the two or three that is really bad, or the 10 that I can move, but I'm really short of breath. I go, so I don't know what is going on. The weight's the same. So this doctor just referred me to everything. Amazing, amazing. Um, so And I was commuting like an hour to see these doctors because I was like, I'm tired of, certain ones. Da, da, da. So I had to advocate and I had to keep switching doctors. Okay, I know something's wrong. Cardiologist said the valves are fine, disregarded my symptoms. These other doctors who were made me feel less of a person. So this other one sends me to test. So within a month or so, we find out I have severe sleep apnea, which sleep apnea, and when it's really bad, it's like you stop breathing 30 times in an hour during your sleep. They said my episodes were like 126 an hour. So the point to my story is I've had to advocate for myself and not just let what these other doctors said or ignore my symptoms. I was beginning to think that something was wrong with me mentally, that am I making this up? I know I'm feeling these things, but I'm glad I finally found a doctor who would hear. So after they found out I had this severe sleep apnea, I had another angiogram and no, I'm sorry. They did ultrasound where through my throat, they saw my heart, my valve, and they said, excuse me, it's opened up more. So that I was going to need another heart surgery. So that whole year of the rest of 2019, not only was I the beginning looking for a doctor to hear me to find out what was going on, but also then finding a surgeon because there's things I didn't want to have done because of long-term effects. So in the process, using the new CPAP switch to BiPAP, my blood pressures were stable, and a miracle happened, and my valve kind of went back to semi-normal to close to after my surgery. So I didn't need to have a second open heart surgery. But in the midst of that, they did find a mass, and I had to then go on a journey of finding an oncologist, and finally found an amazing doctor. And then towards the end of the year, because then, all of a sudden, 2020, the world shuts down. And because I was so excited, my heart is healed. And it's like, oh my gosh, the world shut down. But then I had surgery and had that, and the mass removed. And everything was good. So I don't need to follow up or anything. So anyways, the moral of the story is I've had to be my own advocate. And so as a child, I was kind of feisty, but I was losing my feistiness in my adulthood because I was getting discouraged and I was believing what I was hearing. And I know people were getting upset because, they couldn't see what was wrong with me. But I knew physically there was something wrong. And so after having the mass removed, and they said because of the location of it was easier just to do a hysterectomy, which I didn't want to have, but I had a total hysterectomy done. And after that, I no longer feel that chest pressure. So that was, let's see here, over 7 years of those symptoms. So when like I said, when I finally was telling that doctor, hey, I'm the same weight the whole 30 days, I was keeping a calendar. And then what I'm pretty sure was happening is when I was having my menstrual cycle, that I was actually retaining fluid around my heart, and that was causing me to have the chest pain, the shortness of breath, and stuff like that. And if you have any symptoms, and women have different symptoms than men when it comes to heart attack, but if you have any symptoms, you need to contact your doctor and be persistent. I tried to, and because everything was good, I was ignored. So this was something different. I don't think I ever did an echo or had testing done during my cycle. I don't think I ever did that. But anyways, I've not had an issue since I had the hysterectomy. So it has to be related to. So my whole thing is about being an advocate, educating, understanding your body, um, so that you can function, or hopefully be well. So, anyways, let me continue with my script. Sorry, I'm catching a cold, so I'm trying to get over this. Um, so I'm just sorry. I'm going to go back to this. So I've had to advocate for my own health, um, as I struggled with various physical and invisible health issues, which prevented me from enjoying my life. And then I went into those, some of the symptoms. So, so finally, like I said, after I had my heart surgery, I thought I was going to do well, and I wasn't. I was wrong. So, but I was thinking that my heart surgery was going to fix everything. I thought that was going to that and then I had finally, like in 2019, I had the BiPAP machines. I thought, okay, this was the issue. My sleep apnea was causing, maybe my memory loss, or my surgery was causing also memory losses, because that's another symptom I had. But no, there was something deeper. There was a deeper root to my body's malfunction. So the struggle I felt more like a battle. It was as if I was at war with my body, or with whatever was causing my body to malfunction. I knew some of it was hormonal, but could not take any hormonal replacements, because remember I said about the side effects I had. But this can be due to the only thing that we knew of was my low vitamin D. Because I don't know if you know, vitamin D is not really a vitamin, it's a hormone. So the only abnormal lab value that was very significant is my vitamin D levels. Throughout, even since 2011, I was given vitamin D, whether it's like 2,000 or 5,000 daily, or 50,000 units a weekly. Whenever I was given those, prescribed those, it wasn't changing my numbers at all. If it went up 1 or 2 points, and that was it. So I was still about 29 points off of normal. So I knew there had to be something wrong with my either ability to absorb the vitamin D or to process it. So recently, a few months ago, so a company that I am affiliated with, I use their products and I sell it. doTERRA came out with these new probiotics. So I took them for like 5 days. Actually, the first 5 days that I took them, I noticed I went down 7 pounds. Totaling, then making it a total of 10 pounds that I had for the month, because I started to do some other stuff. So this really shocked me and intrigued me to learn more about the digestive system. I had no idea how, I knew how our body was intricately connected, but I didn't know the extent of the food nutrients, nor our gut environment. And then sometime last month, I came across an article that was relating vitamin D to the gut environment and the intestinal microbiome with sleep, with the immune system. So I was like, okay, so I knew vitamin D had something to do with serotonin, our neurotransmitter, and our immune system, but I had no idea it had anything to do with vitamin D. Because when I've researched vitamin D, I've read how it has to do with how our skin absorbs from the sunlight, then our liver processes something, then it goes to our kidneys, and our kidneys converts it to, I believe, D3 and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, so something's going on. Is it my kidneys? But all my kidney tests were fine, so we didn't know. So now, let me see where I'm at. Sorry. I'm looking at my notes so I can stay focused. So now I really want to learn more about the gut. Okay, so I am really intrigued. I never paid attention so much. I knew our gut was important, but we always give such a high precedence to our, our mind, our heart, certain that we feel are just like all these major organs, right? But not realizing how our intestines is not just to absorb nutrients and then poop it all out, there's so much more going on. This is like another world in our intestines, right? So I want to learn about this, and as I learn, I want to share with others. So my first online class in person will be December 16th, which is going to be this coming Saturday. So I'm hoping to post this soon. Then you can see this, and I should have the link to it, this Zoom class. Let me keep going forward. So on this mission that I have for my own health, because I'm still trying to figure out there's a connection, and I think I'm getting there to where there's a connection to these things as I'm learning about different natural resources like nutrition and supplements and essential oils. And I do tapping, so I do thought field therapy, and that's kind of soothing. I'm learning so much about a connection with nutrition, mood, health, wellness. As I'm learning all this stuff, I know in my heart I have to share this. I have to share this. I have to share this in English, and I have to share this in Spanish. I'm not perfect in Spanish, but I'm gonna have, I'm gonna do my best to help others. So that being said, da 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 da. Um, So there's some things on my script that I'm not 100% sure I want to share, but I'm going to go ahead and share. So I don't know those of you who are watching this are a parent, but as a parent, you feel you always want the best for your children. You don't want your children to suffer, to go through what you went through. You want them to basically, you want them to suffer less and to enjoy life, really. That's how I feel with everybody. I don't want them to have to deal with what I've had to deal with. It's really hard when somebody looks down at you because of the size. Yes, my size is still big. In March of this year, I wasn't going to share this, but I'm going to share this. In like 2.5 weeks, I gained 20 pounds, and we don't know why. It's so unusual. I'm trying this stuff. I was down a few pounds, and then I do the probiotics, and then I drop, even more. So I know something's going on because I don't think that's, I haven't asked if that's a wonderful advantage of the probiotics, but I know something's going on. So anyways, so as a parent, you always want the best for others. And I do not want anybody to have to deal with what I've dealt with. I feel my limitations, we thought it was my depression, but it may be the health reasons causing the depression. I felt like it robbed my family and myself of a good quality of life. Because I would spend, not only calculate how to walk and do this stuff, I would literally spend weeks at home and not leave my house. And I still deal with that, but now it's like maybe days I won't leave my house or what have you, because of physical limitation and pain. But I totally don't want anybody to have to go through what I have. And I know a lot of people are dealing with health issues, different stuff. But if there's any way I can help, contribute any information I have, that's what the Nurse in Your Pocket is here for. So I really want to supply that information / resources. So I hope it makes sense. So if I could help one person, even one person, then I know my suffering wasn't in vain. And I can only dream of having those years back with my children and husband, but I can't go back. I could only make today or tomorrow better. I cannot change yesterday or the past. I myself want to learn to live in the present for today. So, what does living more in 2024 mean to you? Let me tell you what it means to me. I'm going to try to say this without crying. To be living more for me is to be finally enjoying shopping with my husband pain free without having to scan for areas to sit or to calculate the distance I need to walk. I want to be able to attend my son's wedding pain free, be able to dance and not fall asleep before the fun begins. So living more in 24 means to me to be laughing more, having no arguments, no bitterness, no sadness, no jealousy, no drama, no debt, no worries, and just have good, clean fun. Living more is to have a better quality of life, be at my optimal health, get out of my home, travel to see my family, and see the world that God created for me. Living more in the present, enjoying each and every moment with my loved ones, fulfilling my purpose in life. Living more is to live without fear of what others may say or think about me, to live without any added expectation of myself or others, to live with my eyes so focused ahead without looking back at my failures or my what ifs, to live for what will take place and how I'll help others. So please join me weekly as I share information on how to be your own health and wellness advocate, but by providing you with natural resources and education. So, like I said, December 6th, I have a Zoom Reclaim Your Gut Health event. So I'll post the link at the bottom so you can personally attend the event online. I will present information on how to support gut health and provide time for questions and answers. So, living more in 2024, I'll have, sorry. So, the series Living More in 2024 will have recorded videos that will post every Sunday afternoon beginning on New Year's Eve, December 31st, which is 123, 123, so 12/31 and 23 on my YouTube channel. And I hope to have the Instagram and Facebook with the links also. So please like, subscribe, and share the links with your friends and family. And also join me on monthly Zooms. And hopefully soon my website will be back up at thenurseInYourPocket.com. So take care. Thank you for your patience and over 30 minutes of your time. Bye.